Hi friends, thanks so much for joining me today. So today's Tuesday video is actually a little bit different. I've been following the sketches that are found on page 22 of the annual catalog. Well, today I was inspired by a card that was shown in the mini catalog. Let me show you that card. So it's this one right here, and I'll show it to you when I flip the camera down. But I really like the simplicity of this, and it's just got this wow factor, right? So we're going to get going with that one. But before we do that, I do want to remind you that there's still time to take advantage of our kit sale, up to 30% off through the end of the month. Really great deal for that. And also, our online exclusives are coming soon. And if you would like to take advantage of the online exclusives before November 5th, this is the best deal, the starter kit special. Yeah, so when you join my team, you pay $99. You get to choose $155 worth of Stampin' Up product. It's your choice. You can add those new online exclusives to your starter kit. Or if you've been eyeing that Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, now's a great time to get it. You'll end up getting it for $99 if you add that to your starter kit. So it's a great time to join. If you have any questions, need further information, please reach out to me. You can find my Join Now information in the description below the video. All right, let's get started. As I mentioned, our kits are on sale through the end of the month. They're an additional up to 30% off for any kit that's on my website. So you can visit my website at www.mariarobinson.stampinup.net. And that link will also be below the video. Next, our online exclusives will be available to everyone November 5th, unless you become a demonstrator or are a demonstrator. Of course, you can order these now. And as I mentioned in my preview, you can also order them as part of your starter kit. So when you join my team this month, for only $99, you get to choose $155 worth of Stampin' Up product. And you get free shipping. So reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Being part of Stampin' Up is such a wonderful privilege for me. I've met so many new people that I probably would never have met. You know, had I not been with Stampin' Up. I tend to be an introvert. I know you probably don't think I am, but I am. I'm very introverted. So I probably would not have met these people had it not been for Stampin' Up. And we all have an interest in, you know, helping people and making people feel better by sharing handmade cards with them. And I really do enjoy doing card classes. So if you'd like to be part of my team, I'd be more than happy to welcome you. And if you have questions, reach out to me. All right, so as I mentioned, for today's card, we are going to be going into our mini catalog. So this is September through December 2024. And this particular one is the one that caught my eye. I thought that was so pretty and so easy to replicate. So as a demonstrator, we have what's called sample recipes for these cards that are in the catalog. Well, they're not really full recipes. See, they just have, you know, they'll tell you like the basics of what's included, but it doesn't give you any measurements or anything. So you kind of guess. But this one seemed easy enough, so I figured I'd do that. And I did. So I'm also using the Peaceful Season stamp set along with the Peaceful Season dies. And this can be purchased for 10% off on my website. All right. The other piece that I am using is this gorgeous designer series paper. And I think it's called Season of Elegance. Season of Elegance, and you can see it right here. Isn't it gorgeous? Let me show it to you in real life. Well, not real life, but on video anyway. I'll go through the colors. So we have a mix of different colors here. We have basic beige, and then on the other side is just a more muted watercolor tone. This has gold all throughout. We have old olive, and the other side, again, it's more of a painted texture. We have some more basic beige. And the other side, we have some painted textures, some more gold. Isn't it just beautiful? This paper is just simply gorgeous and looks amazing on cards. I just love it. I know you've seen some of my other videos where I've shown this paper, and I just really, really am enjoying it. And then lastly, we have Pretty Peacock. So I really love this paper. and I am using it, which, you know, I tend to be a paper hoarder, right? So we don't need very much today. And so I'm using cherry cobbler as my base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This piece measures, I believe, 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Yep. And then, oh, you know what? I forgot a piece of basic white for the inside, but we'll do that after I'm done with the video. And where is I had pulled out my red piece, and now it seems to have disappeared. Oh no, I have it. It's right here. I put it back. So my DSP I'm going to use is that one, the cherry cobbler. And there's also real red in this. It's not just cherry cobbler. Let me just tell you the colors that are in here. So we have basic beige, cherry cobbler, crumb cake, gray granite, lost lagoon, mossy meadow, old olive, pretty peacock, real red, and gold. So when you get your DSP, it comes in this pack like this, or 6x6. And on the back, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but it does say the colors that coordinate with the DSP, making it that much easier to create your cards so that they all coordinate beautifully together. Okay, so we got that. And I've told you about my Peaceful Season stamp set and the dies. So I'm going to pull out the die that I'll be using. I've already got my stamps mounted. And let's see. So I want to cut that. So let me cut this piece with my paper trimmer. And because I want to get as much gold in this piece as possible, I'm just going to cut off a strip from here about, well, let's measure the die and see what the die is. So the die measures just under 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut my strip just a hair over 1.5 inches. So we're going to go to 1.5. We'll go just a little bit over the 1.5 here. And we're going to cut that off. Down here, just cut that, set that piece aside, and I am done with the trimmer. Let me get my cut and emboss machine. You could do this in the mini. I don't think I need the big one for this. So let me get my plates. I love how this fits right in my full screen. So I am going to cut several of these out. I'm not going to use them all, but this way I'll have them available for another card. So we're going to just put our plates in there and run that through. And I'm going to run the rest through, and I will be right back. I cut up a bunch of pieces, and this is what I was left over as a scrap. So we'll just toss that. I cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So I was able to get 8 out of that one piece of 1.5 by 12 inch DSP. So I'm going to pick the ones that I want to use on the card, and I think I want to use maybe these 3, and then these 2, which what I did with these is I actually flipped the DSP over, so I wasn't getting any of the, although there wasn't much gold, but there was a little gold speckling, so I just wanted to do some without that. So I cut it from the other side. So we need 3, those, these. Actually, I don't even need that many. I just need, how many are on this card? Let's see. So we have 1, 2, I guess there's really only 2 or 3. This might be just, this one here might just be a little piece from this one here, but I think I might do that a full piece and then just trim it down. And then there are also 3 pieces of regular cardstock. So again, I am using cherry cobbler, and then I had already pre-cut this piece here, which is that there. And then we have our 3 pieces of cherry cobbler. So I think we'll put these aside. We'll use that on another card. I have everything I need out here. I feel like I have too much. All right, we're going to put these aside for a second. Let me do some stamping on this piece first. We're going to stamp Peace and Joy. Actually, no. We're going to stamp, what does this say? From our love, from our home to yours. And because this won't obviously fit across here, we're going to be stacking it. You know how I love to stack, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mask off the part that I don't need yet. I think I went the wrong way. So I want to mask off this part first. So I'm going to do love from, I'll just mask that off. Oh, I think that's good. Yes. All right. Oh, let me get my Versamark. I'm sure you've seen this tip before. To reduce the amount of dye that you get on your photopolymer stamps, which obviously you can see that I forgot to do that. I don't know if you could see that it's kind of pink. You want to dip it first into your Versamark. And then from there, you can go into your ink. So this is going to be on an angle, so I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. So we're going to stamp love from right here. Okay, and I want to clean this off and take off the tape. And then we'll do our home. And I'm going to need another piece of tape. Okay, I need another piece of tape to mask off love from. Okay. Again, we'll put it in Versamark. And we'll do that. Now I'm going to remove the tape, which I didn't do before, but that was because it was on the edge and I didn't get in the rest of the stamp. So we're good. So from our home, I'll clean that off. And I might be able to just get the edge, so I'm not even going to bother with the tape. Do that. And we'll come here. And then we'll stamp to yours right below that. So this really extends your stamps, because now instead of doing it all across, and you could cut it too if you wanted to, but I don't really like cutting my stamps down. So now we went from the long stamp. Let's see if I put it under here, if you could see that. Not really, right? Let's get a piece of white. But I think you get the idea. So we went from the long stamp and just stacked them up and stamped them this way. So just a little tip for you. All right, so we can put, actually, let's keep that out. Set this aside. Let me get my pierce mat. I completely forgot to put that underneath my stamp. All right, we can set that aside. And then we're going to stamp Peace and Joy on the 3 cherry cobbler pieces. Oh, almost did that. Okay, and we're doing this in cherry cobbler. I want to clean that off because I don't want to put the cherry cobbler in my Versamark. And it still does stain a little bit, but it's not as bad. Okay, and one more. And we'll stamp that there. Beautiful. Okay, we are done with our stamps. We're done with our inks. I can put these away. And I can put this away. Oh, allergies are just so bad lately. Okay. I think we can start putting this together. So let us start by arranging this. So I'm going to put, they show this one here. Actually, let's bring this in for reference, right? So I know what I'm doing. I need to open that up though. How about if we do this, right? Okay, there we go. Let's not lose this piece. So I'll be looking for that. So we're going to put that piece there. Then they have half of this one here. So I'll be moving them around a little bit. Put that piece there. Let's see. And then we have the sentiment goes here. This one here. And then we'll go this one down here. So it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. This one we'll do here. And I got this down here. It's just showing a little bit of that piece. And then I think I want to put another piece here, maybe. Let me think. I think I like that there. Or should we put it on the top? I think I like it on the bottom better. Okay, so that will be that. Okay, let me move this out of the way so I have a flat surface. All right. All right, so now we'll start putting these pieces down. Now, I don't want to put this down yet because we're going to be weaving some ribbon through that. Let me start with this top piece. Let's make sure I'm doing this correctly, and I am. So I'm just going to add a little glue. I don't want to add it to the top. Now, I'm not worried about that top part yet to cut it down, because we'll cut that down once they're all down. We'll just trim it with our snips. And if you use liquid glue, it gives you a little wiggle room. You can move the pieces around till they dry, and then you can't. So I got some glue there. And this, we're gonna just add some glue here. Lay that piece down. Probably should use my silicone craft mat just in case I need it, because all my pieces come flying off. All right, how did I have these? Now I have to put them back down. So here, and then we have one of these. This one was going to go down here, I think this way. We'll do this. No, that's too much space there. I'll go right about here. Okay, and this one's going to go here. You know what, I think I might move these. Put this one down here. And maybe put the gold here. Just looks a little more symmetrical, I think. I mean, you can play with this all that you want, right? I guess that's what takes the longest, besides, you know, die cutting them, is just getting the pieces right where you want to put them. But it is a fairly simple card design, but it really caught my eye in the catalog, and that's why I decided to do this instead of doing our, what is it, number 19, I think, or 20 of the sketches. But I only have a few more of those, so I will finish them, don't worry. I certainly will finish those up. I think I put more glue than I needed on this one because I just need to put this here. So we're going to let the glue go onto the silicone craft mat. I'm sure that will dry up before we need to cut it. The other thing that I found took the longest is threading the ribbon through the basic beige piece, because the ribbon that I used, I didn't have a skinny ribbon, was too wide, so it was a little tough getting it through. Plus, I'm going to also show you another thing, is how to color your ribbon if you don't have ribbon to match your paper. So we'll be doing that as well. Oh, there I go again, adding glue in places I didn't need. Oh, well, that's what the silicone craft mat is for, to catch our little boo-boos. Okay, we'll put that right over here. Move it down just a tad. Whoopsies. Hang on. Okay, then we'll put that aside. We have one more piece to lay down. All right, we'll put this piece right over here. Trying to look for equal distance here. All right, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit before I cut it. So let me show you what I did with the ribbon. So I wanted to use like an old olive ribbon, right? But I didn't have old olive. I have basic beige, this bordered ribbon. It's got this white border along it. Or I could use the pecan pie center strip ribbon, right? So you can take your ribbons and you can use your Stampin' blends to color them. You just want to make sure that you have some sort of a scrap paper underneath, because it will bleed through and get on your surface. And then all you do is you take the side of the marker, the blends, and just apply color back and forth, back and forth. And let me zoom in for you a little bit so you can see. Just keep going back and forth till you get the whole thing colored. And then I also like to do the other side, although in this particular one it really doesn't matter, but you see how it's still a little white on the other side? So I just like to finish it off. Oops. And what's nice about the alcohol blend markers, or any alcohol marker for that matter, is that they dry very quickly and you don't have to wait for it to dry. The bad thing that I found, and I'll show you in my finished piece, is that they get very stiff. Let's set this aside. So this was my finished one that I had done previously, and you'll see it's not as, you know, it's kind of like, I mean, like if you could feel it, it's very stiff, right? I don't know if I were to wash it, would it soften up? Would the color come off? I'll have to try that. And maybe I'll do a shorts video and show that, how that came out. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to weave this into these little areas here. And as you notice, it's wider than the ribbon, see how it's wider? So I'm going to fold it and push it through. And then I want to pull it out from the other end. And I want to just measure it first on my piece. Make sure that we have enough to go to the side. And we do. I got too much there. I don't need that much. So I'm just going to pull it through a little bit more, probably about there, and then I'll trim it. Get my snips and trim that off. And then I will do the same with the other side. And this one I need longer, so I may not need to trim it. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold this in half, push it through the hole. Well, honestly, this took a lot less time than it did when I was making my prototype. I struggled with that quite a bit. And it could be the different ribbon. This one's the, maybe this one's a little more narrow. I don't know. I didn't look at the size difference. I thought they were both the same. They look both the same as far as the width of the ribbon goes. And just pull that aside. And then this will go to that edge. Okay. So I think we'll cut just about this much off. All right, now I can also trim these off. They're pretty dry. I'll use my glue scissors, trim those off. And I could save these and use these on another card as well. Especially, maybe not the tiny one, but the bigger ones I could definitely use. You can also use your paper trimmer to trim this. Okay. All right, let's adhere this piece down. So I'm going to put this down on dimensionals. So let's get some dimensionals. The other thing, if this bothers you that it keeps flapping open, is you can get a glue dot and just put it down in between the two strips. This way it's not flapping around like that. Okay, we'll add about 4, I think should do it, 1 on each corner. And we'll just center that up, like so. Then I will flip it over. I'm going to tack these down. And since I have Scotch tape in here, I think I'm just going to use Scotch tape to tack them down. Make sure that looks good. Make sure I like the way that looks. I do. We'll just put some Scotch tape down. Nobody will ever see that except you and me. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to cut those a little bit too short, but I think we can get it. Tape that. Like so. Okay. And then we'll put dimensionals on here as well. And I'll get these pieces right in the garbage so they're not flying around, landing all over my house. Does that happen to anybody else? Do you guys find these dimensional backings all over the place? Because I certainly do. All right, and then we're going to center that right here. Like so. And I am not even going to add any bling to this. Isn't that beautiful? And later on I'll put a piece of white cardstock on the inside, obviously. So let me show you the old olive version that I made. Let me know which one is your favorite. Do you like the cherry cobbler or old olive? Personally, I like them both. Friends, thanks again for watching my video. I really appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you join me. I upload videos every Tuesday, and also I've been doing another Friday tip series on Fridays. So I've been doing that. I'm on my second one, and so I hope you've been enjoying that. If you're interested in joining my team, the Crafty Creators, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you get started and answer any of your questions. It's a great Join Now deal. As I mentioned, it's $99. You get to choose $155 worth of product. And if you've had your eye on that Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, now's the time to do it. Plus, you can add any of those online exclusives that won't be available until November 5th. Friends, thanks again for watching. I appreciate you watching my video, liking, commenting, and sharing it with your friends. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.